it takes. You get me Dion.
Dion! Are you ready? I was born ready. Run, cowboy.
Hot dang, if I had 11 men like that, I could rule the world.
The margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. Winners win and losers lose. I can't explain it any better than that. I don't know how it happens, but winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
Well, good evening, everybody. Game time, Brian here. Contemplating why I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I came up with an answer. Why? Because I was born and bred into the Cowboys. I'll always be a Cowboy fan. Through thick, through thin. I know a lot of people say, oh, you're spoiled. It's not easy winning a Super Bowl. Why are you guys always complaining the way you are? Again, it has been 30 years, and we've won 3 playoff games, maybe 4. We're averaging 1 playoff win every 10 years. So that's a far cry from being Super Bowl champions and winning 1 playoff game in 10 years. Yes, that's how I look at it. Again, I'm fine if I don't see another Super Bowl. But the direction of my franchise, people can make excuses. People can... Especially people my age who've seen the 3 Super Bowls in the meat of our life. I was 21 years old in 92, 93, and 95. That was my prime. I had seen losing. I remember the 2 losses to the Steelers. Then it was a big drought my whole adolescent life. And then when I became 21 years old, when I became 21 years old, I saw a championship. And then when I was 22, I saw another championship. And then when I was 24, I saw yet another championship. So, I have a high standard. And that standard has dropped off. Nobody's saying we need to win a Super Bowl. We're saying we need to get to the divisional round, get to the NFC championship game. And the reason why we haven't has been a change of philosophy. It's been let's focus on building AT&T Stadium. Let's build the brand. You know, when they bought the Cowboys, it was $150 million of oil money that was leveraged to the hilt to buy a failing franchise financially in the Dallas Cowboys. Off the field. On the field, very failing franchise. And so much so that then Donald Trump, entrepreneur, told Jerry Jones buying the Dallas Cowboys was a huge mistake. I've said this a lot. I love Jerry Jones. I do. And Jerry Jones, what he did, he caught lightning in a bottle with that Herschel Walker trade in a non-salary cap era. He hired Jimmy. He made mistakes. The way he fired Tom Landry was wrong. He's since admitted it. There was other ways to go about it. But make no mistake, Jerry is second to none when it comes to running an organization financially, marketing, deals upon deals. Old Jerry, spending money, made money. Again, old Jerry spending money, made money. Now, after those Super Bowls, they turned their focus on AT&T Stadium, spent a lot of money, got a lot of money from the city of Frisco, got him, is what it is. He's turned it into a $150 million leveraged investment where he literally had problems writing checks his first year in the NFL, 1989, to a $13 billion thriving organization. I know he spends to the salary cap, but he's at the bottom of the league when it comes to cash out and signing bonus. He's at, when you sign free agents, I always say this. The way Dallas does business and the way that like a team like the Philadelphia Eagles do business, this is one example. Saquon Barkley is making the same amount of money this year, $5 million on the books. He's making more, but how he counts on the salary cap this year is the same number that Eric Kendricks around about is making. Saquon Barkley, arguably the best running back in the league, almost broke the all-time rushing record for a season. Eric Kendricks, nice veteran linebacker to come in. Probably is going to be one and done here. That's what we're talking about. It's how you do business. They've hired coaches, Chan Gailey's, Wade Phillips, Dave Campo, Jason Garrett. There's only been one coach since Jimmy Johnson that anybody really respected, and that was Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells was very successful. Was he perfect? No. But he was very successful. And I don't know. It is a guessing game what's going on and how, again, I love Jerry for what he has brought me personally. But again, there's a generation of children who saw one playoff win in 10 years. I mean, that's at the bottom. I mean, we're talking the bottom feeders of the NFL have more than that. We're not talking Super Bowls. Everybody says, oh, we're spoiled. It's not easy to win a Super Bowl. We're not talking Super Bowl. We're just talking about going on a playoff run every now and again. That's all. We're talking the likes of Cleveland Browns. But anyway, let's focus on the Mike McCarthy issue. Mike McCarthy was let go. I was on board with letting him go after the playoff game. And I kind of knew what happened. Stephen Jones, Will McClay, Jerry Jones, there's too many hands in the cookie jar. Okay, and they're all at fault for why this franchise is the way it is. Stephen Jones, big time. He had a problem giving Dion money back in the day. He had a problem with the Charles Haley trade. Stephen Jones will always opt on the side of, we don't want to pay a lot of money. We're going to spend a little, get high return, win a lot of regular season games, get lucky in the playoffs. And Jerry has gone along with it since the rise of the franchise wealth in their coffers, in their piggy banks, in their bank accounts, in their generational wealth. It's time to change the narrative, people. Jerry Jones looks at Al Davis, and he recounts his conversations with Al Davis. I loved Al Davis at the height of his career, but at the end, he was a laughingstock of the NFL. And I dare say that Jerry Jones is not there yet, but we all know that Dallas is a circus these days. It's hard to defend the Dallas Cowboys. It really is. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It's hard to defend the Cowboys and come back, because I know how close we've been in recent years, and they have failed to put us over the top. Hell, we've had Derrick Henry begging to be on the Cowboys. He just ran for 200 yards in a wild card game. Helped the Baltimore Ravens win a wild card game. Ran for 200 yards, almost 200 yards. Again, he was begging to play for the Cowboys. So any of you trolls out there to say, oh, everybody wants to play for the Cowboys. Make no mistake. And people want to coach the Cowboys. But Dallas Cowboys are the only team in the NFL whose owner and general manager, who's the same guy, has not one but 2 media sessions with the local radio station a week. Dallas Cowboys are the only team that has an owner that's the first one to do a post-game press conference. The coach hasn't even talked to the team yet when Jerry's getting in front of the microphones. It's kind of hard to work that way. And the ultimate point of the issue is, what do they call it? Yeah, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Was that the definition of insanity? Well, Jerry's he's on record as saying he's not going anywhere. He has no desire to step down. There's no accountability. He doesn't have to worry about his job. But you saw in Landman episode 9, you've heard it many times. He bought the Cowboys for a family business. That's what it is. And if you watch episode 9 of Landman on Paramount Plus, hell of a series, just finished watching it. He's crying. Jerry's not an actor. He's crying to John Hamm, who's laying in bed, who plays a big oil guy. Jerry, a big oil guy. Crying. Basically recounting the story about himself and what his dream was to work with his family in his remaining days. And that's beautiful. Again, I love Jerry Jones. But now it seems like the rubber is hitting the road. He's 82. He sees that, let's face it, he doesn't have that much more time left. I hope he lives to be 100. But again, quality time, hopefully, things can change at this age at a moment's notice. And where is this team going to be without him? It seems as though that Jerry Jones has gone rogue. Yes, rogue. We're hearing rumors that Jerry wasn't on board with the Dak Prescott deal, but Stephen and Will were. We're hearing that Stephen and Will wanted McCarthy, and Jerry didn't. Now, I think there's a battle going on within the organization as to how they want to proceed. And Jerry is fighting tooth and nail. He's not relenting. And right now he's going rogue. He's fully expected Mike McCarthy to come back. We keep hearing all the narrative. They made him a shit offer, so he had to turn it down. No, Jerry, it is basically come out that McCarthy wanted a 4-year deal. Jerry offered a 1-year deal. That's no way to do business. None. That's a failed blueprint to everybody be on the last year of a deal. This isn't an oil deal, Jerry. It's not. It's a failed way to do business. But they fully expected McCarthy back. Make no mistake about it. McCarthy's the one that said he was trying to get through his kids' schooling locally because they love the local school system. But McCarthy, good for him. And now you're hearing all the local media trolls. I'm not going to name their names. You could look on YouTube and find a lot of them. A few of them work for 105.3 The Fan. Now they're starting to hear the smear campaigns. Well, really, he was doing some bad things 2 years ago. The organization was aware and not happy with the direction of the team 2 years ago. This is before the playoff game. I might as well say it. Go watch it. Bobby Belt. Well, he really wasn't doing a lot of things players weren't responding. There was a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Well, who the hell was doing their job covering the team back then? Well, you really can't make waves. Why? Again, this is what's wrong with the media these days. You wait till the guy's gone to say, oh, yeah, we knew there was problems. Then you'll wonder why they don't like YouTubers. Why? Because we're not beholden to the team. Okay? We're not beholden to the team. I'm entitled to my opinion. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm right. We all have our sources. I've been right a lot lately. Damn right I did a video almost a month ago telling you who the head coach of this team was going to be. And Dallas fans cringed. But I digress. We're not there yet. I would tell you this. As a Cowboy fan, I need change. The culture, as I led off the video, has turned into a loser culture. To babying the players, worrying about what the players think too much, catering to the players. There's a reason why coaches like Jimmy Johnson and Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick were successful, because they don't take shit from the players. They don't take shit from their owner, necessarily. They're allowed to go out and buy the groceries so they can cook the dinner. Any general manager should pick his own coach. But we have an owner/general manager that does not have to worry about how he does his general manager job, because it's not in jeopardy. But it seems like we have a rogue owner right now who is trying hope upon hope to bring in Deion Sanders. And I love it. Not necessarily for the winning. I think it'll help. Now we're hearing stories about Witten. Jason Witten is in the plans. Now we're hearing, there was a plan all along. Again, why does the most wealthiest organization, the biggest organization in all of sport, not just football, have to take a back seat as far as like a coaching search? We should take the lead. We should be at the forefront of how this goes, not following the Chicago Bears, okay? Not following the Jacksonville Jaguars and getting their scraps. We should be at the forefront, paving the way for interviewing the most brilliant minds, not the necessarily. Have you ever heard that it's an old thing where these Fortune 500 companies will interview and talk to their rivals' best employees, if possible, for a job, a promotional job. You go pick the brain of somebody smarter than you. Not that you're going to hire them necessarily. Maybe a hint of how to win. They're not stupid. They know how to win. They're on board with saying they do want to win, but they want to win it their way. They want to be in the mix every year and then maybe break through one year. Not do what the Rams did, who went all in, won a Super Bowl, were in cap hell for a couple years, and now have won playoff games in consecutive years. They have more playoff. So the way they're running their organization, meaning the Cowboys, it's not what they think. For a team that brags about how well you draft, why wouldn't you want to do that? Every fifth year, you'd have a horrible season. Sixth year, 3 wins. What that does is allow you to get the top-end quarterback talent. The Joe Burrows of the world, That's how you get them. The Arch Mannings in a few years. You're not going to get Arch Manning winning 8, 9 games, 10 games. You're going to have to give up the farm to move up. And players. But anyway, let's get into it. They wanted McCarthy back, meaning the brass. Jerry wasn't sold, which is why Jerry offered a 1-year deal. Of course, McCarthy turned it down. Now we're all wondering what's going to happen. And you know what my biggest fear is? But I got it right here. Deion Sanders leads DraftKings. He's the favorite at plus 100 to be the next Cowboy coach. Now, Deion Sanders has a buyout. It's going to cost $8 million just to buy him the rights of him to come now. Deion's contract is 5 years, $29.5 million. Just like a tick under $6 million a year. They said McCarthy made $8 million this year, so that's well within their range. Currently has a contract extension on the table. Oh, surprise, surprise. There's a contract extension on Deion's desk that he has yet to sign to extend. So, buddy Jerry Jones comes in. Not that he doesn't want Deion. There hasn't been an interview, but he reached out, and then somehow all the media networks on the night of Wild Card Weekend instantly have that he talked to him. It's funny, a coaching cycle that Jerry needed a coach, he was talking to Mike McCarthy on the down low, and nobody knew shit until he was named the head coach. So much so that Jason Garrett was in the building for a week still, while they had already moved on, locked up McCarthy, and had a press conference announced and said, Jason, you gots to go. So Deion has a contract from the Colorado Buffaloes on the table that he's yet to sign. He said time and time again he don't want to coach pro players. Now recently he's thrown his hat in on the Raider job. I don't think Tom Brady's hiring Deion Sanders. Maybe I'm wrong. Jerry calls him. He's flattered. After the phone call, he hops on and tells whoever wants to listen, I was flattered. When Jerry calls, you take the call. Very intriguing. But I love my kids. I love Boulder. I love the city. I love the fan base. Didn't answer it. He answered it without answering it. So I do think Deion's in play. But how's that going to work? Okay? Jerry's going to pay that? This is where I say Jerry is going rogue, because I think he wants Deion. But now you're hearing, literally as I make this video, which I'll post in another hour from now, hour and a half, that Jason Witten is in the mix. He was always going to be a part of the mix. I don't believe it's, and I talked to Ultra Cowboy, I don't believe that it's to be the head coach. I believe it's to be a part of the organization. But let me finish. Deion leads the odds, followed by the guy I'm telling you is going to be the ultimate head coach. Now, a lot of the people I talk to, a lot of smart people that I talk to, Dallas fans, say that they'll never be able to push Kellen over the fans. But I would tell him that they don't really seem to care what we think anymore. It's not like it was back in the day. Under Steven, they're hunkering down and executing what they want and telling us, this is the sandwich we're giving you. We don't care if you don't like it, eat it. And we're so addicted to Dallas Cowboys, and I love the Cowboys. I buy their merch. I go to their games. I stay at the Omni Frisco. I do it all. I do the stadium tour. I do the tour at the Star. It's beautiful, beautiful. I love it. But I wouldn't change all that for the world. But I just want to win every now and again. I know winning Super Bowls isn't easy. Trust me, I know that. But maybe a couple playoff wins here or there would be nice. Not one every 10 years. But anyway, Kellen Moore is a plus 250. Next. Followed by Cliff Kingsbury. But let's go back to Deion. I said he's got an $8 million buyout. Okay. $5 million next year in 2026, if you want to buy him out next year, and $2 million in 2027. So now you're starting to hear why maybe they wanted McCarthy for another year. Get towards that. We just re-signed Dak, but get him closer to the end of that deal. After next year, you could move on from Dak if you wanted. Sure, you would take a $62 million cap hit, but It's better than 197 the year that it would be this year. So you start putting the dominoes together. You start looking at a guy. You remember, in 1995, Jerry Jones cut a $20 million check to Deion before AT&T Stadium was built. Deion Sanders, regardless of the circus that will follow, which Jerry loves, he's the ringmaster. He's the ringleader. Yeah, that's Jerry Jones. He loves a good circus. But what Deion Sanders brings to the table is very different than what a lot of people could. So, Cliff Kingsbury is number 3, plus 350. Brady. Joe Brady, plus 450, offensive coordinator by the Bills. I don't know if he's a good head coach, but I would definitely interview him. Ben Johnson, plus 550. Ben Johnson ain't coming here, but interview his ass. You should have had this in order so you were in line to interview him last week, because now the window is closed until the end of the year, or they're eliminated from the playoffs. Followed by Bill Belichick at plus 650. Bill Belichick. Let me run down Bill Belichick's buyout. $10 million buyout before June 1st, 2025. He's not coming here. $1 million a buyout after that. $1 million after that. Hence, Mike McCarthy for a 1-year deal. This time next year, you're looking at Deion Sanders. You're looking at Bill Belichick returning to the NFL. You know Bill has it in place to have his son Steve take over North Carolina. Mike Lombardi already on record to saying nothing that's happened right now is going to change him leaving North Carolina. Mike Lombardi, friends, best man of one Brian Broaddus in his wedding. Brian called him right away and said, okay, we're hearing McCarthy's out. Belichick didn't realize that there was a job going to be opening. Would he leave? Doesn't change a thing. You're starting to see why the 1-year deal was made. You keep hearing that this next year, I know, Drew, I made a $100 bet with you. I'm still going to honor it. You're starting to see that this next year is going to be worse as far as free agency and letting people go, i.e., DeMarcus Lawrence, Zach Martin's gone, Jordan Lewis is probably gone, Rico Dowdle's going to be gone, on and on. You're going to lose a lot of players. Osa Odigizua might go. Golston might go. I mean, there's a lot of people here. You see what I'm saying, people? There is a plan, but the plan didn't include winning in this upcoming year. I'm going to stand on that. The information tells you what they were doing. McCarthy for another year, lame duck year. Maybe they get lucky. They hit in the draft picks. They don't have the health injuries because they're still a talented football team. The problem is if they suffer any sort of injury, this is what you get because they're thin as a one-ply tissue paper when you go to wipe your behind side when you go to the bathroom, if you know what I mean. That's how thin it is. Cheap toilet paper. High-end talent at the top, nothing behind there. Bunch of young, raw kids. We were sold a bill of goods on this, the seatbelt with Kalen Carson. I hope he can bounce back. Good luck, Kalen. But anyway, Bill Belichick, $10 million buyout, then a $1 million. So, and then I have my Texas guys. I have my Texas people. University of Texas Longhorn. They suffered a tough loss. Steve Sarkisian, Sark. Well, you know what his buyout is right now? In 2025, it's $45.4 million. Not happening. In 2026, $36.5 million buyout. Not happening. 2027, $27.5 million buyout. You get the point. It goes all the way to 2029 where it drops down to 9.2. He makes $10 plus million a year also. So what I'm trying to tell you is the University of Texas is arguably the most coveted job to have in all of football. It is. Do your research. Find out. For a lot of reasons. Sarkisian's not coming. I read the favorites, and I'm going to play a couple videos. I'm going to share a video. We're going to start with Michael Irvin. And then this is going to be the positive. Then we're going to end with the negative. And then you guys are going to have to make a decision on what you think. But let's listen in.
To Mike McCarthy's moment. Go ahead. I got a lot of things to do, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on you to come up with it. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to wait, but I'll never get it. I'm not saying he's not a great coach, not a good coach. I'm just saying it's going to take something special, somebody different, somebody locked in to one thing. I'm going to tell you why I say that. Somebody with a monomaniacal focus, that's a singular focus on winning championships.
It's been a long time since we had somebody like that. Since Bill Parcells, and it's on record that Bill Parcells came back because he needed a payday. So really, since Jimmy Johnson, that's all Jimmy did. He was at the facility for 18 hours. Jimmy wanted nothing but to win. Win at all cost. Remember Jerry Jones' initial press conference? We must win. We will win. Winning is the only way. Winning is it. We've gotten away from that. We've gotten into comfortable. Let's worry about the players. Let's be nice. The days of sleeping in a meeting and you were a lower end player, you were cut, are gone. I know there's a salary cap. I know. Jerry's a big part of the problem, but it seems like he knows it and he's trying to fix it. Let's listen to Michael, but just listen to his passion and listen to what he's saying, people. It makes a lot of sense.
Over everything. I don't need a friend. I need wins. Over everything. I've been harping on this whole policy that the Dallas Cowboys have of not staying at the hotel the night before a game. And I was reading this article that they brought out talking about it, and the guys were talking about how it has made them successful. You know, they started it after the Tampa Bay loss, and that opening Tampa Bay loss, and people get opportunity to sleep at their own bed, and he wanted them to have more time with their family. And everybody said, oh, that sounds so good, that sounds good. Bullshit. Bullshit. No. It's been 30 years since the Cowboys won the championship. I was there. I know the focus it took to win that championship. So everybody wants to pull back now and say, oh, no, this is a new group of kids. You gotta let them know. You gotta let them make decisions. Shut up. It's got to be a singular focus on winning the championship, or it's going to be another 30 fucking years.
Say what you want about Michael Irvin. He knows what it takes to win. Consistently win. You see the passion in a man who hasn't played. I was at his last game at the Vet Stadium. I was at that game when it was a blessing in disguise that he got hurt that day, people. Why would you say that, Game Time? Why would you say Michael Irvin getting hurt was a blessing? Well, I'll tell you why. He had a back injury that without getting hurt would have never have been discovered and could possibly have paralyzed him if he continued to play. Okay, so when I was there, I was sitting in the end zone, right behind the goalpost, if you know the old vet, right where Dallas would come out of the tunnel. We were literally like a row or two, like right above, because, we wanted to be next to our boys. And I remember that day where the media, everybody hammered the Eagles fans for booing at Michael while he was on that turf. And that would be his last game ever that he would suit up as a Cowboy. They were not booing Michael Irvin. They were booing Dion for doing he was doing a prayer and trying to heal Michael. I know I got off on a tangent, but the passion that this man has, second to none, which is why he was a winner. He was a winner. He wasn't the fastest guy. He wasn't the biggest guy. But he had the biggest heart and the biggest work ethic.
In the article, he talks about he wants them to spend time with his family. I love my family. I love my family. But the best thing they can do for their family is go win championships. Go win championships, and you're going to have plenty of time to spend with your family in paradise when you retire. Because you will retire with championships. And everywhere you and your family go, they going to salute you because you won championships. I need someone that's not talking like that. I need someone that's only talking about what this organization has been, what this franchise has been, and the road has already been set with what is required. Men before me have put a championship on the table. These men must put a championship on the table. And you can't eat, sleep, or shit, nothing else.
Yeah.
Nothing else. That's it. And if the head guy doesn't see it this way, if he's not monomaniacal about it, then these other guys aren't going to be. And I don't want to hear people come to me, man, and go, just because you couldn't stay home on a Saturday night, then that don't mean everybody you. No, it don't mean everybody me. And whoever you are that can't stay home on a Saturday night, it don't mean anybody you, everybody you. So since we don't know who's going to go and who ain't going, let's keep everybody ass at the hotel so we'll know where everybody ass is. That's what I say to you. Be gone. Because I need people to understand the 30 years, no, you had nothing to do with those 30. But when you sign up for the Dallas Cowboys, this comes across your neck. And it's your job, because you have the ball right now, to get us out of it. And you have everything to do with them damn 30 years that's stuck around our neck. So that's why I'm saying I don't want nobody that don't feel like life is championship. And championship is life. It has to be the very damn breath you breathe. You hear me? The breath you breathe has to be about winning that championship. Let me tell you what I'm so excited about too. When I say I'm jumping for joy, because of the way this thing transpired. They were all.
I'm going to leave that right there. You should go watch Michael Irvin's whole video on Michael Irvin's whole channel. I mean, his personal YouTube channel. Again, we've gotten away from what's important, people. Amongst all the bells and whistles of AT&T Stadium, it's no surprise that other than last year, we've been a bad home team. Wonder why that is. And wonder why our record on the road has been better. Well, you stay at a team hotel the night before. It's not about being comfortable. It's not about seeing your family. We all love our families. Like Michael said, you go ahead and win, that takes care of itself. So that's the good. So he goes on to talk about prime time. We all know what that would mean. Okay? Everybody knows if prime time were the coach of the Cowboys, there's no guarantee that they would win a Super Bowl. It would bring real legitimacy. These players would be doing things a certain way under prime time. Why? Because he's paved the way about how to win in this league. When you either Get on board or you'll be gone. But I wanted to give an opposite view by one Jesse Holly and a local beat writer. And I want you to watch this.
Here's why it'll never work here with Dion.
Oh,
It'll never work with
I'll
Dion.
be the guy.
Oh, I hate you. No, we're all. I think.
Well, I mean,
we're
there's
all
zero
just-
chance, but I just wanted to start with, please, Jerry.
No.
Please do it.
And here's why.
They're talking about Dion.
Dion, if hired by the Dallas Cowboys, will become the biggest star in sports in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Jerry is okay with stars that put on helmets for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. For him, that is profitable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And profit he loves.
Mm-hmm.
What Jerry
That's
would
Clarence
not be
Hill,
able
by
to
the way,
handle
next to him.
is the
Beat
ego
writer for the Cowboys.
that would be stripped down to the bare bones because we wouldn't want to hear Jerry postgame.
No, he's second fiddle.
The Netflix will go to Dion. The interview.
Think about that for a second. This is the contrary point of what I said about having a Dion, right? This is the contrary. Listen to what Jesse says, and then I'll comment.
Interviews will go to Dion. The TV cameras will go to Dion. I wasn't here in the 90s. Only one of us up here was old enough to say that they were here reporting and covering the Cowboys in the 90s. I won't point any fingers, and I won't say who.
I was one of the few people Dion talked to.
But in that time, the Cowboys broke up that great dynasty because Jerry had an issue ego-wise with people saying that this team was Jimmy Johnson's team.
Yeah.
You think, and I like Jimmy Johnson. I met him a couple times. Seemed like a good dude to me.
He stole your idea the other day.
He did steal my idea the other day.
Yeah.
I put mine out like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. He came after me and said what he said on his show. But that's all.
Because he's following you.
That's
Credit
probably-
your sources,
I need
Jimmy.
to go check my followers.
Screw you, Jimmy.
You think that Jerry will be able to his ego will be able to handle the fact that that everybody wants and clamors to Deion Sanders?
Settle down.
Are you underestimating his ego?
No,
In
I-
Jerry's brain, do you think that he thinks that Dion would be the bigger draw?
Jack with you today.
yeah.
I don't know if he does.
He knows that. I would
he
say
does.
that.
He's Jerry MF and Jones.
I will push back
It's a
on
fair
that.
question, but
Just like I'm going to push back. Yesterday you said Jerry's not hiring a black man,
South African American.
African American.
yeah, make sure you get it right,
Hey,
Clarence.
look.
I think I think he would hire Dion.
No, he wouldn't.
I think he would hire Dion.
If he could, but he wouldn't
I
because
don't think
he would.
it's going to happen. But I think that
He
would
wouldn't.
he would hire Dion, and I think he could.
Elaborate.
I think
Why?
because it's Dion, because of their relationship.
That's not enough. It's because
No.
it's Dion.
Yes, because of their relationship together. Just piggybacking on what you're saying about he couldn't handle Dion. I think Dion and Jimmy are different. I think that there's something about
You're
his
not
relationship-
you're not dimming Dion's light. No one is
No,
going to
and I don't
dim
think he
Dion's
wants
light.
to dim Dion's light. He understands that.
And Dion is not taking when if
Dion's
Dion
not taking
takes
no, you're
if
right.
Dion takes this job, it's not going to be a collaborative thing.
It won't be, but the eyeballs that Jerry covets, the Netflix cameras that Jerry covets,
They won't be on him.
They will be on the Cowboys.
They're all,
They will be on.
That's what-
They're like you talk about.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. We're going to leave it there. You saw the pros with Dion, and you see Jesse telling you that's the reason why he got rid of Jimmy, because the lights were getting away from Jerry, and all the credit was going to Jimmy. Clarence Hill will tell you Jerry is at the point where he don't care about the lights being on him as long as they're on the Cowboys. That we got to cross our fingers and hope that that's the case. Now, I am going to finish this video because it's long. This is what you predicted what's going to happen. Now you're hearing my phone's blowing up as I'm doing this video about there's a plan in place to have Jason Witten. This has already been written down prior to, you didn't see me writing anything. Kellen Moore, head coach. Matt Eberflus, defensive coordinator. Jason Witten will have a job in the organization. You will bring back George Edwards to work on the defense. You'll bring the offensive line. You'll bring in the old offensive lineman, Mark Colombo, to work with the offensive line. And you'll probably be able to keep Bones Fossil. That's probably where this is heading, people, if I had to guess. And outside of that, I think everybody else, they'll do their minority candidates. They want Dion. I do think he wants Dion, but it's going to be interesting if that happens because the shine will follow Dion. It will not follow Jerry. But that being said, if that doesn't happen, look for John Gruden. But I think that's it. I think it's Kellen, Dion, outside chance of Gruden. I think everybody else. I mean, they'll interview a lot of people, but that's it. But that's it for me. Please put in the comments what you think about that. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. And what do you think? I'll talk to everybody. Don't forget, always.
How about them Cowboys?
Late.